Hiya, it's Wendy here again from Toonpish Crafts, and I hope you're doing okay. Today I'm doing a collaboration with the amazing Nalla Goat. Kaya agreed to this and I'm so glad she did. She's an amazing artist, she really is. Her videos are gorgeous, they're easy to watch and they're very cute and lovely and I love them. And go and check her out, her link is in the description below. We decided via our conversation that we would both buy the same mould from the same place, just randomly chose a mould, and make something with that mould and then send it as a gift to the other person. That was our plan. So we decided that we would choose a chess set. Now, we went on Amazon. We picked out the chess set that we thought would be okay and we purchased it, and the board is slightly wobbly but it's okay as long as you stick it down it will stay flat. The pieces did make me laugh. One set of pieces. Now when you're doing a chess set you need 16 pawns and you have one mould, so the mould for the pawn alone would take 16 days. Just if you're doing one pawn in a little mould, 16 days. Me being me, decided to do 2 colours in a pawn, and so it took quite a lot more. Now, I did think halfway through that I should make 4 pawns into another mould, and I might do that actually, because I haven't got there yet. I'm still going through this. At the time of filming, I'm still going through making this. But I wanted to do the intro ready for when I get this piece done because I'm so excited about it. I absolutely love it. I really love it. I can't wait to see what Kaya has made. I really can't. This is so exciting for me and I hope that it's going to be exciting for you. Anyway, here comes the video. Let's see how I've got on with it. Now this is filmed at a funny angle, but these are the pieces mould and I'm going to fill the majority of them up with clear resin, but I wanted to squeeze out any air that could possibly get trapped below. I don't know if you can see there's lots of bubbles coming up because there's hidden lips inside the mould. Unfortunately, every time I squeezed and then let go, the air got sucked down below again. So I had to come up with another plan, which was to squeeze the mould, hold it squeezed and use the lighter to get rid of the bubbles at the top and then gently let go so that air didn't get sucked down in the mould. What a palaver. So when I first started these moulds, I didn't really have a plan. Me not have a plan. I just thought I'd fill them up with clear, put balls in them to make it look like water and leave them, but I didn't like them. When they came out they didn't have enough colour to them, so I changed my mind. Woman's prerogative. So these are the balls. They're just plastic balls, all different sizes, different colours. I've got blue and I've got white, pearly white, and I think these come from Wish, I think. So I'm kind of trying to pick them up. The most frustrating things trying to pick them up, and I just thought I'll put a few in each of the moulds, push them down a bit because they do float in the plastic, so I needed to push them down a little. Hopefully they'd get wedged in there and that would be it, but it didn't work that way. They're going everywhere. A few are going in the moulds, so I'll put some blue ones in. Now I'm going to put some pearlescent ones in. These are pretty though, very cute. And I had lots more pieces to make, so I had to keep some balls back. This is just half a set. So I thought now I could top them up and they would be okay, but yeah. So this is 24 hours later and I'm demoulding them for the first time. A little bit of a struggle, but they came out and I'm not happy. I am not happy. The mould is not shiny, it's kind of semi-shiny. There's bubbles in it. I don't like the colour. At this point I'm thinking, oh, what have I done? They're just not as good as I wanted, so I had to do something else. So these are the other set then, the other half of the set. And I decided to put flames in them. So these are the three colours that I'm using. The colours are pumpkin orange from Pearl-Ex powder, Pearl-Ex yellow, and blood red from Resin 8. I love that red. It is so gorgeous. I want flames in the fire set. How am I going to put flames in the fire set? I'll make them separately, I thought. Make them separately. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to make a red, orange, yellow flame display that I can then cut up into pieces and put into each individual mould to make flames inside the clear resin. That was my thought anyway. Did work out though. Spraying it with isopropyl alcohol to get rid of the bubbles. And I've got some colour left, so I'm just adding that in. And I've got some red left. I wanted to use it up, so I thought, okay, these are far too big to be flames in the little chess pieces, so I'll use the middle as well. And now about an hour and a half later, I'm putting in the lines that will hopefully look like flames. So I'm just dragging the red up through the orange and the yellow, and I'm doing the same for the middle. But this is all going to be cut up. It's a very thin layer. And I'm pushing out all the colour down into the red as well. I kind of want it amalgamated, merged is the word. So this is later that day. I didn't let it go overnight. It's later that day and I'm warming it up because it has cured a little bit too much for me, so that it's easy for me to cut. I've got a pair of strong scissors, cutting through the middle first so it's easy to deal with. And then I just keep warming it and cutting it as I go so that it's easier to trim. Could do it with a standing knife, but it's easy for me to work with scissors. The outer rim was a bit thick, so I decided to cut the outer rim off. And this is the pieces that I wanted. I wanted them to look like flames, just little bits that I could put into each mould. So I've got my little pieces of flame now, and I'm putting the clear resin into the moulds. At this point I know that the moulds are not that good, but they're the moulds we're using, so we're going to deal with it. Got all the bubbles out. I've squeezed and used my lighter, and now I'm going to put the flames in. And I want them to just sit below the top of the mould. Top them up, but not quite to the top, because I want to put some red in the bottom. I don't want to do what I did with the other ones and come out with hardly any colour in them. So I'm leaving a little space for the red. And this is 24 hours later, and this is the red I'm just going to put in the bottom of the moulds, i.e. the top.
Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again. What's wrong with them? I don't understand. Maybe it will pass by, someone save me. Before I pass out, I'm too lonely to be done. I'ma drink at this page.
Okay, so 24 hours after that, and we're demoulding. This is exciting for me because I want to see if it's worked. Now obviously it's a very rough mould, but I'm thinking once that's cleaned and once that's shiny, that will look amazing. That's my opinion anyway. So now I've got the sandpaper, I'm going to do the bottoms. It's a wet sandpaper, so I can just put some water on it. Sand up the bottom so they're nice and flat.
Someone else I would, and like all of you. I know that I'm obvious, that I'm made this way, but why didn't I stay when I had the chance? Maybe it will pass by.
I'll make sure all the outside edges of the bottom has got no jagged bits on them. All nice and straight and clean. And this is where I go around and sand all the little bits. I'll carve them off because the mould had bubbles in them. So they're going to come out on every piece. They had lines in them. So now I've got some coatie and I'm going to cover all of these sanded and shaved bits in coatie to make them shine. I'm just going to put a rough coat on it. Now I do start off with a paintbrush, and I put the paintbrush into all the little bits. Sorry, it's slightly off camera, but you can see what I'm doing. And I'm using my gloves then to just rub it all around. And already there's a massive difference. Beautiful shine already. Now, I'd much rather have not done that, but you know, that's what the mould told me I had to do.
I was finally over you, but that's not the truth.
So I got fed up with the pawn mould and decided to make my own mould. This is sticky back plastic, and I'm just going to use it for the base. Put in my pawns that are already shiny and coated so that they turn out to be a nice mould. And just sticking them onto the sticky back plastic, trying to keep them a little bit apart so they can get them out the mould easier when it's made. It doesn't really matter if they're not perfectly aligned. Now I've moved it onto a plastic lid here because I'm going to put it into my pressure pot to make sure there's no bubbles, and I'm sticking it down with hot glue gun onto the sticky back plastic. And I'm going to spray it with mould release. And this is the silicone I'm using. I'll put all the links in the description. I've already degassed it so to make it nice and clear. Just about had enough. Now I'm shaking it to get rid of any air bubbles that are trapped, and my long neck lighter to get rid of the top bubbles. So 24 hours later, I'm taking all the outer casing off and removing my ready-made pawns. And that's my 4-pawn mould. Now that made my life a lot easier. Now the board mould is wobbly, it is bent in the middle. It comes folding in half, which isn't a problem, but it does have a bend in the middle. So I decided to stick it down with double-sided tape, and that worked a treat. These are pictures that I've printed out, and they are on water slide paper. Now my idea was that I could do a red and a blue square with these pictures printed out on my laser printer on water slide paper, and hopefully they would stick to the mould. I was so nervous about this. I was so nervous. So I've put in all of the pieces and I've made sure they fitted in the little squares, and now I'm just going to add water to them, and hopefully the water slide paper would come away and the picture will remain in the mould. That's the plan. I'm so nervous. At this point I am so nervous. Is it going to work? It actually doesn't take that long for the water to soak into the paper, but I was so scared of taking it off in case it didn't work. Cut my thumb as well. And it stayed there. I was so chuffed. Sorry, squealing in your ear hole there, but it stayed there. Do you know what this means? If this works, if the resin picks it up, it all comes out right. That means you can print out anything on water slide paper, anything. So these are the blue ones. Fire and ice, that was my plan. Oh, I've always got a plan. Always got a plan. Not all of them work. So I'm just showing you, cutting out each piece. Now I wanted to put these up facing the other way to the red dragons. The blue dragons wanted to face the opposite direction, so it looks as if you're facing your opponent. So hopefully these are the right size then for the squares, making sure they go up the right way, and I want them all the same way obviously. Do they fit? Yay! I've got them all in and I'm taking out all the water slide paper. They come out really quickly. I'm quite impressed with this water slide paper. I've never used it before. It is for a laser printer, but they do it for inkjet printers. So this is all dry and I'm using Vista Cascade to go over the top, seal in everything. Now I needed it clear in case it seeped underneath the picture, so my intention was just to go over the tiles with clear, but I soon realised there's a little tiny lip right the way around the edge of that box and the resin needed to go in that lip, so I pulled it over the top completely. Using my little micro brush then just to try and fill in every little gap that I could possibly find, including the little tiny lip. Now I'm using Resinate Pigment White for the back, and I figured that I needed a nice clean back for it. So I'm going around all the edges just to make sure it's right up to the end, and I actually didn't make enough, so I had to go and make some more. So I've made some more, filling in the gap. 24 hours later and it's time to demould. So excited. Is this going to work? So I've unstuck it because I stuck it down. And it's staying there. The pieces are staying there. I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought for sure they would come off on the mould. They're staying there. The water slide paper worked. I was so chuffed, so chuffed. You have no idea. I was walking around everywhere for days saying, I done it. There we go. And it's all on now. Every bit stayed. There's not one bit that shifted. All the dragons are in the right place. They're all facing the right way. So I thought I'd give you a close-up shot. They're not shiny because it's water slide paper. The resin runs underneath, so it needs a top coat. Now because it needs a top coat, I needed to finish it to make it look neat and tidy. So I come up with this little tiny film which is designed for boards, I think, for display boards, masking out display boards. I know that was very tricky. I got the hang of it in the end. It would cover the lip that I said about earlier, hopefully preventing bubbles, and it will also finish the piece so that it looks neat and tidy. That's the plan. And it worked 90%, actually 99% it worked. So yeah, it was a little bit tricky. I did wonder how to do it, but this tape worked wonders. Okay, so now I've got all of the board covered with the tape. I did go around the outside about 3 times to make sure it was nice and neat. Pushed it all down. It's sticky back tape, so it's all stuck down. And now I've got to top coat it. And give it a nice top coat with Vista Coaty. Taking it up to the edges. As usual, I don't think I've made enough, so I don't think I had to go in and put some more on. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, I've got to admit. That collaboration item took forever. Those pawns just drove me mad. You can see at the end of there, I just gave in and done my own mould and did 4 pawns together twice to make the 8. But it was driving me crazy. It was taking up my pressure pot because every time I did a pawn, I did 2 paws, and both times it went in my pressure pot. So it was just a nightmare. But I'm so glad I did it because I love it. Absolutely love it. I've got it here. I'm going to try and pick it up for you because it's all got the bits on it. Yay! I absolutely love it. I love the fact that this technique worked with water slide paper. Do you know what that means? That means we can print anything on water slide paper and put it directly into a mould, pour resin on it and it'll stay. I mean, how good is that? That's just amazing to me. I have tried it onto resin, however, and it didn't stay. It was very slidey and went all over the place and was mess. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't work, but I'm saying that the one time I did try it, it didn't work. But directly onto the mould, stayed there beautifully. It was the white paper that I used. I didn't use the clear, I used the white water slide paper. I will link everything that I've used in the description below if you're interested and want to try this for yourself. They do water slide paper for laser printers that I've got, and for also for inkjets, so it's not a problem. But yeah, can you imagine printing off every photo you've got? You can print off anything, designs, drawings, photos, the lot. It just stunned me. I was like, yes, I've done it. Whoa. And I love the pieces. Now, those moulds were pretty naff, to be honest with you. They were pretty crappy, but you can make good things out of bad things, and these little pieces have come up absolutely gorgeous. Once you sand them down and recoat them in resin, they just look stunning. I love the fact that I put the flames into the pieces. I just love that. I love that technique. When I first started this, my husband said, well, do fire and water, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Without doing each piece 6 layers, which would have taken a year, maybe. Well, exaggeration, but you know what I mean. As it was two different layers for each one, because I wanted the dark red at the bottom on top of the colour piece that I put in. So as it was, it took me a long time. I'll put a time lapse up of each time, each day, and you can see how long it took me. It was immense. But I really hope that Kaya likes this. I really do, because I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm going to be sending that out to her. I might put a clip up at the end, if I can, of her deboxing it. Unboxing it, that's the one. But yeah, if you play chess, even if it's a really bad mould, you can still make something great out of it. And I'm not blowing my own whistle here, I really do think this is cool. Anyway, waffling here. Oh, I'll also show you, let me take the pieces off. Woohoo! That I've put black felt on the bottom, just to keep the board sturdy and to give it a nice finish. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? The tape that I put around the outside edge lifted slightly in one of the corners, and no matter what I did, I couldn't push it down. But this is a handmade piece. It's not pristine, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that I did this. I did this. What? Anyway, I hope you enjoy this, Kaya. I hope you like your chessboard. I can't wait to see the one you've made for me. This has been a really exciting, great collaboration for me. Go check out Kaya's channel. She is an amazing artist, and she doesn't put up videos every week, only once a fortnight, as much as she can manage. But her videos are adorable. They're so sweet and easy to watch. So check out Kaya's channel. Let's have a look at what chessboard she's made for me, and hopefully she'll like this one. Anyway, come back and see me again next week. I'll put some stills up at the end. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. You never know what I'm going to come up with. Have a great week. Bye for now.